So I did see this one as a screen unseen, and when the title card came up, I was very pleased because I'd seen the trailer for this one once and I knew that I wanted to see it. Welcome back, or if you are new here, welcome. My name is Katrina and I make bookish content as well as movie reviews here on this channel every week. All of my movie reviews are spoiler free and I will leave a playlist of my recent reviews linked up above in case you are looking for something else to watch this week. Yes, I went to see Eternity, which stars Elizabeth Olsen, Miles Teller and Callum Turner as three people who are in the junction, the waiting room between life and death, whatever you want to call it. It's called the junction there, but yeah. So basically you die, you go to this place and you have a week to decide where you want to spend your eternity. Once you have chosen that place, you have to spend eternity there, and you get little snapshots of like the sort of eternities that are offered. So for example, there's like a smoker's paradise because you can't die twice, so they could, you know, smoke as much as they wanted and never be affected by it. You had the man-free zone, which was full, and they were working on another one. You've got like sort of Hawaii, you've got cabin in the mountains, you've got ones where you can just go and fish all day, ones that you can just go and watch porn all day. Like, there are lots of different eternities that people can choose from. So essentially, Miles Teller's character dies first and then knows that his wife has just had a terminal diagnosis, and so she is going to be dying fairly soon, and so he tries to do his best in order to wait for her. And she does show up, but when she shows up, there's somebody else who's been waiting for her, and that is her first husband, who went off to fight in the Korean War and never came home because he died. So he has been waiting there for 67 years. And the way he's got round waiting there for more than a week is he has worked there. So there are people who choose to never spend an eternity somewhere else but choose to work there. So they have their like life consultants who like help them choose where they want to be. They get their files and see what kind of things they like, and then they kind of give them options of eternities, which are through like pamphlets or infomercials, which I thought was really interesting. It seemed like really quite antiquated to have like a TV with a remote that you click on and there's just infomercials for the different eternities that you can do, or like little pamphlets that you can read about these infomercials and about these eternities. And then they have all of these other ones set up in like a convention type setup. So if you've ever been to like a book con or a comic con or an education convention of any kind, that's the booths with the different things. They give out free samples and things. So there was like a wine one where at one point you see a couple of the characters sitting there getting drunk. So the consultants, one of them is Miles Teller's character's consultant, one of them is Joan's consultant, but he also knows that Joan's first husband is there. And so he is like really obviously pushing for her to then spend eternity with him. And the whole film is then essentially around her deciding who to spend her eternity with. The first part of the film, it was sort of like 3 acts. The first part of the film and the second part of the film go really, really quite quickly. And then the third part of the film seems like disproportionately long, because when you get to the end of the second part of the film, you kind of think that the film's almost finished and that the third act's going to be really quite short, a bit of wrapping up, a bit of unfinished business. But the third part of the film, I would say, you know, it's my one criticism of it really, that the third part of the film was a bit too long. Third act was too long. I felt like we were ready to wrap it up and we just went through a little bit more indecision, and you'd spent the whole film dealing with indecision. So that was an interesting part, but it was really nice seeing Elizabeth Olsen play a different role again, because I'd seen her play a couple of different things and then I'd just seen her play the Scarlet Witch, and you know, she's so synonymous with that role now. It was really nice seeing her play something else. And again, I hadn't seen Miles Teller in something outside of then more recently Top Gun Maverick, which again I don't think was actually that recent, but he, you know, I'd seen him in that and hadn't seen him in anything else. It was nice seeing him in this kind of otherworldly rom-com. And then Callum Turner, I was trying to think where I knew him from, and it's because he plays, his accent is essentially Chris Evans from Captain America, who is from Brooklyn. Like, you know, Steve Rogers is from Brooklyn. It was like he was pretending to be Captain America the whole time. That's how I felt. I was like, kept expecting him to be Chris Evans because of the accent. I didn't realise he was actually British. So that's probably why I couldn't work out where I'd seen him from before, because I'd probably just seen him playing in his own accent before. And then Divine Joy Randolph, that won the Oscar for The Holdovers, was also in it and was fabulous. I think that she was underused. They gave her a very comedic role in this one, and I think that she had a lot of throwaway one-liners. I think she could have dealt with some more of the more like existential, deeper stuff. I think almost she might have been better for Elizabeth Olsen's character Joan than she was for Miles Teller's character Larry in this one, just to be able to like support her as a like girl to girl kind of support, which, you know, that's just me being a bit nitpicky, because I really did enjoy it. I had a little cry, I had a few laughs, and I feel like it's something that I would watch again. I think as rom-com goes, it was very different, and I didn't really know who I was rooting for at any point, apart from rooting for people to make a decision, because it got to the point where it's quite frustrating that people wouldn't make a decision. But yeah, I would definitely watch this film again. And in terms of should you pay your cinema going money to go and see this one, I don't think it's one that has to be seen on the big screen. It's definitely something you could watch at home, but I think if you're looking for like a date night or like a friend's outing trip to the cinema, it would be very suitable if you're not the kind of people who want to go and watch Wicked right now. And so yeah, I would like to see it again. I would definitely, you know, if there was nothing else on new that I wanted to see at the cinema, I would go and watch it again. And also I would watch it again if it came to streaming anytime soon, because I think I'm ready to watch it again. It was definitely one that's worth a rewatch, and a very different rom-com than I've watched in recent times. As always, if there is a particular movie you would like me to watch next week and come and share a video review for you, do let me know in comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future movie reviews and Vlogmas content coming your way, as well as those end of year roundups with my top 10 books and films and bottom 10s films. And I will see you with my next video. Thanks for watching.